Hello everyone, my name is Nikelclip and welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another Fortnite video, and in today's video I wanted to talk about the overtime styles, the enlightenment styles or super extra styles that you get after 140 level. I mean essentially you get not so much access and we can then have a chance to get them after that level if you just grind more of the game. And I wanted to talk about this essentially, this kind of topic about the enlightenment styles, kind of like give my thought on it. Mainly because essentially I watched ITalk's Fortnite video when he made a video about the new cosmetics that came out with the newest update, or the second update we got from this season. I'm gonna play the clip right now.
Did get the super level edit styles, which I think they should just stop with this super level edit styles. I don't think anyone ever likes these things, and myself included. I never run them, and I feel like we always have to get hyped up for them because they never show them right away. You have to wait for like 2 to 3 weeks when the game goes live, the new season of a game goes live, to actually see it, and everyone's just like, it just doesn't look all that impressive, and yeah, I'm not satisfied with this at all.
So then that got me actually thinking about the super edits that we keep getting each season, like after the a second update. Do we actually need them? How good are these, and whether they should be changed? And first of all, I think the idea of essentially something to go after level 100 after you pass, I think that's just a great idea. And I do have to say that these super edit styles are, for the most part, good idea. Now, I'm not saying that there's like no issues with them whatsoever. I'm not saying that. And I do have to say that they actually look good. Like, definitely a lot and lots of work has been put into them. Like, I don't think that there's. As I said, I was thinking like maybe there was some that were kind of like lazy. Don't I? The only one that you can think of essentially is the from chapter 2 season 5, because it's just, in that time essentially they just kind of got a layer of kind of rock over them with the different colors. And honestly, I didn't really like that for the most part. Like when we had from the season 1, there was like only one skin that got these other styles. Essentially, that was like April versus Scratch, I believe. That was the corrupted, and I don't want to be like say like, oh, that's the worst one, because essentially they were just kind of trying out. Then season 2 we got the gold styles, and the season 3 we got the Eternal Night, I want to say. I'm sorry if I butchered the name for a second. And surprisingly, they still went with one, but at the same time, maybe they just didn't think that maybe they could have implemented the other skins. Because essentially, as I said again, with the chapter 2 season 5, we did have a DM kind of special skin that was the Lexa, and she didn't receive any like overtime styles or super edit styles. But in chapter 3 season 2, when we had Erisa, who was a cell shaded skin, they were actually managed to put some edit styles in there, and also the Rick Sanchez was also cell shaded. So maybe essentially like they couldn't switch bot styles on Lexa at that time because they didn't know how to properly do that so it looked good. So I'm not really gonna be like really full alter like the season 1, 2, and 3, because they were just like still kind of trying to see whether what does work and what doesn't work. But what I'd have to say is essentially like kind of the benefit of the message, like every single like edit style like after we got to do it this time, it looked unique. Season 1, Able with the Scratch, actually Corruption looks pretty good. Like the only ever skins we actually have something similar, or actually not similar, but same thing, was essentially the Corrupted Legends pack. And essentially this has been done essentially they can actually like turn on something where you can like modify your corruption where originally you couldn't. Yet again, that's something maybe they were trying to do, like testing around, and that's kind of cool. With the gold edit styles, I mean, just kind of like Face of Gold, I think the only which actually came somewhere similar was in season 4 of the Marvel season. I mean, by this time we had like a lot of like silver, gold, and prismatic. So I can kind of like say, okay, that's fair enough down there. And the only ever, I think, like proper, just like full on gold side, which was Marigold. So overall, I want to say like edit styles from these times around were actually pretty unique. There was like something cool, like it's something I've never seen in the game, but just it didn't felt like you see that all the time. And with season 5, essentially, yes, they were maybe lazy done, but they were still like kind of like unique. There's something like, okay, I haven't seen this anywhere else in the game. Like, that doesn't remind me of anything else. That's impressive. But the issue, which actually I think like a lot of people, including myself, actually to find is like after that time, essentially all the over edit styles just started to look similar to almost exactly the same. Like this time around with all these overtimes that we have, I do want to say that it just feels like essentially we just got from the same ones from chapter 3 season 2, because they look awfully way too similar. The only thing that makes this essentially overworld of different from Chapter 3 Season 2, which I think essentially where they look awfully similar, is because instead of having like a pure gold and white style, we have a blue style. And also the blue style is at the second part, where essentially the gold and purple is at the end. Like that's literally the only like different thing that we have from this season from chapter 3 season 2. And actually if I think about it, the last season edit styles actually look more similar to those actually we have right now. The only difference is essentially the edit doesn't take over like the literally the entire body, just only take the clothing, which is another thing that many people don't really like whenever the edits literally take over like every single like part of the body. People, including myself, actually do like whenever it does like just take like the clothing, because essentially, I think it just looks way better, because then it actually just feels like it was way more forward, but instead of just adding this layer on top of literally everything else and just go for the easy way out. And I'm not trying to say essentially like, oh my god, I feel like these are like so like bad, essentially that's like flawed, except for chapter 2 season 5. But I don't know, just like for me, I much rather have edit styles that go with the clothing rather than the entire like character, because I don't know, it just looks better in my opinion. Plus, what I've actually seen other people actually talk about these edit styles also prefer essentially whenever the like other edit styles take over the clothing rather than essentially like the entire body. So I think there's some need to work done with those edit styles. Like first of all, I think we need some like different colors for these different edit styles. I'm not talking about really like changing like the formula, and not talking about how the edit style look, because I mean I don't want to say like they look high edited. Just like the colors, just give us something else. Just give us green. Just I don't know. There's like all these different colors you can actually just mix for these like overtime edit styles. Like next season, I don't want to see like the gold, purple, silver and blue again, or some version of that. I just want to see like something else. Like, give us some green edit styles, give us some, I don't know, red edit styles, or some variation of that, or maybe even pink. Although that may be too familiar from purple, but you know what I'm talking about. Just if you're gonna say like the similar formula of the edit style, just give us different colors. And also, just kind of a side note which I want to mention. Also, just give us more essentially like a locker presets, because mine is maxed at 100 and I have almost maxed it out. And I do really want to use some of these edit styles that we're going to be getting, and I can't really use them if my locker preset is filled up already. So just give it a side note, maybe increase a bit of lockers, maybe just give us like 20 more, maybe to 200. I'm not saying like increase like way too much, just a side note, because if the more skins with more edits are going to come around, just maybe think about increase that locker pre-sold, not pre-sold, but locker loadout. I don't even know how to say that. I'm just gonna keep that in. So in conclusion, Epic Games just give us like different colors, green, as I said, red. I mean, there are also colors you can actually think of to include, just so it doesn't feel all over the same. Like I'm using over the same thing just with a different skin, because that all gets boring pretty easily. But anyway, let me know what you guys think about the overtime edit styles. Do you like them? Do you wish they would get changed, or do you wish actually they get that complete overhaul? Like I suggested, I mean briefly when he said like maybe we should enter like overtime edit style, just like maybe completely different reskins, like maybe not so much like those overtime, but like something else. I don't know. That could be another thing that Fortnite could do. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below. So guys, also leave a like. I'm gonna be heading out, guys. I'll see you all next time. Peace.